Well, good morning. We are in beautiful Kuala Lumpur, and we're here at Perdana Botanical Gardens having a nice walk this morning. Today, we're going to talk about a term that gets used a lot on the internet, the idea of disconnecting from the matrix. I like that term because it kind of just reminds me of when I retired early and started traveling the way that I do. And I had this feeling inside like I had disconnected from the matrix. But the reality is, do you have to do that? Do you have to start traveling the way that I do and leave your home city, leave your home country? Not really. I believe that disconnecting from the matrix is up here, a mindset. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how I really disconnected from the matrix, and it wasn't from this travel. It was from a mindset change that I made and changes that I made in my life with my finances. That's what really disconnected me from the matrix. That's what it really means to disconnect from the matrix. I'm also taking you out on the town tonight. We're going to go out and have some fun. I'm going to show you some of the nightlife. Of course, we're going to get some great meals along the way. I'm loving Kuala Lumpur so much, and I'm glad you're coming along with. We've got a lot to talk about in this video. Let's get going. Traveling the world as a minimalist with one backpack, that is what we do here. Subscribe and come along with Retire and Go. When the movie The Matrix came out, man, I mean, a lot of people started to equate that to the lifestyle that we live. They started thinking, am I a battery? Is the only purpose for me to exist to feed energy into the system? Well, I'll tell you, a lot of people, they do feel that way. And there's a good reason why. It's because they see all the work and effort that they do goes back into the society that they live in the form of taxes and work that they do for other people, and they're not fulfilled themselves. You see, once you start working for yourself, once you start building the goals that you have for yourself, that's when you start to feel disconnected from the matrix. You don't have to travel for that. No, you don't. You can actually be right where you are, and you can start to disconnect yourself from that battery system. Click. That's right. But it takes a change in mindset, and it takes plans. Are you planning to actually start working for yourself? Are you planning to have the money that you make be invested so that it grows and pays you a paycheck over time? That's truly disconnecting from the matrix. It doesn't mean that you have to sell everything and travel to the other side of the world the way I did. It worked for me, don't get me wrong, because I got rid of all those bills. But that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. I want to talk to you about an idea right where you are, where you live today, that can help you disconnect from the matrix, because it's up here. Walking into Little India. I love this part of Kuala Lumpur. Let's stop and get ourselves a cup of tea here or coffee. Let's take a look and see what they have. I'll do a tea. That sounds good. Oh, the coffee sounds good. Yeah, I'll do a small coffee. Keep me going right there. Woo. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Perfect. This was nice. Had a little sweetness to it, a little cream. This was a good coffee. And 1 ringgit's like 25 cents. If you're interested in traveling like this as a nomad, a coffee sipping nomad on the other side of the planet, and you're concerned about travel healthcare insurance, check out the first link in the description. It will give you more information on travel healthcare insurance. Good. Oh man, I'm glad that I'm finding this shady area right here. The sun is beating down, and right here there's actually a nice seat. Let's sit down here and talk. The main change that I made when I said I disconnected from the matrix is I wanted to see results that actually benefited me, not just society. If all I was doing is working for someone else in a job and I was building their dream, or if I was just paying all my money to basically live where I was at, paying utility bills, paying rent, paying for gasoline, paying for insurance, just paying to survive, high cost of living, and whatever was left, it was going to taxes. I didn't feel like I was disconnected from the matrix. In fact, I thought that I was part of the matrix. I really could relate to that movie. I felt that I was connected into that machine, because all the time and effort that I was putting in was going right back into paying my taxes, paying off bills. I had debt I had to pay off. That's a big one. Debt is a big one. When you are working to pay off debt, especially debt that you can't even physically see as like an asset around you, you really do feel like you're working in the matrix, like you are a battery. That's the first step, is to actually pay off those debts, start disconnecting from all the money that you're making just going to somebody else. And that comes from investing. That's right. That's the step. Once I started investing my money, I started to, at the end of the year, like in December, I would look and see, I have a chunk of money that's invested in these stocks. That is assets that I now own. That's not something that's owned by the state. That's not something that's owned by some, cybernetic organism that I'm plugged into. I own those assets. They're mine. And when I made the change to have those assets start paying me, and I was able to retire early, that's when I felt I had truly disconnected from the matrix. I wasn't just working for someone else. Now my money is working for me. The money that I worked for and invested, it's now turned around and working for me. Like I'm the matrix, and the money is plugged into me. There are, of course, lots of restaurants to go to here in the Little India area of Kuala Lumpur, but find me a place like this right here. Family-owned, little hole in the wall. Like peas, beans. Yeah? Okay, I'll try some of that. Yep. 2 ringgit, okay. Chicken?
No chicken.
No chicken? All vegetarian. Okay, I'll try one. Onion? Okay, yeah, I'll try an onion samosa. That sounds good. This line of fruit stands and small restaurants are actually built in like a tarp-covered area underneath one of the monorail lines. And you walk by these and you don't think about them, but you're going to find some of the best tasting food. You're going to pay like $1 for a meal. Absolutely delicious. These samosas are outstanding. You get yourself like 2 samosas in the West at an Indian restaurant, and they're charging you like $15 as like a side dish. For like 2 samosas. Like, hey, what is this, $7 a samosa, But yeah, these are still hot, by the way. They're so hot, they're actually hard for me to just bite into. They're so hot, but they're so good. Curry potato, onion, carrots, everything is in there. Really good. And these chickpeas are delicious. Here they are getting ready to make another meal. So I told them, I said I was going to wait until they start cooking so I could show it. Yeah, look at this. Oh, fresh and delicious. This is the way to go. Kuala Lumpur is filled with all the great foods. That's great. As I was working, I was investing a portion of my paycheck, and I could see every year that I had something left over that was mine at the end of the year. I paid off my debts. I brought those debts down to 0. It took time, but once I did that, I stopped thinking of myself as a battery plugged into a system. That's right. I didn't have to travel overseas for that. I stayed right in my home state, and I did that. I didn't feel like I was part of a matrix, because now I was debt-free, and the money that I invested was growing in assets. Of course, there were market ups and downs. When markets went down, I bought a little bit more. When markets went up, I was kind of like pulling back. I was a little shy, I was like, the market's kind of expensive right now. So I managed it along the way. There was a point when I looked at the amount of money that I had invested, and I said to myself, if I'm making about 6% on my dividends return, with the money that I have invested, I can probably make about $2,000 a month. That's not a lot of money. It's not. It's not enough to live back in my home country, I'll tell you that much. Certainly not in my home state of Hawaii. It's very expensive. But I was able to make this move and start traveling and living overseas, especially in Southeast Asia. And I disconnected from the matrix. That's when I did it. It was a little click. I turned off what's called drip. and that's dividend reinvestment program. The dividends that I earned just went back to buying more stocks. I turned that off. It was a little click on my portfolio. And once I clicked that, I literally disconnected from the matrix. Now, that money was coming to me. That money was coming to me, and I used it to buy flights to places around the world. I used it to stay in hotels, to travel, to buy food overseas, to live this lifestyle. I literally disconnected from the matrix. But if I can get any idea to you in this video, it's that you don't have to take that step to disconnect. Disconnecting from the matrix is up here. It's in the mind. And it happens by doing two basic things. One, you stop just working for other people. You start to invest. So you see something that you built for yourself. And two, you pay off all debts. We're heading out at night. Yes, I'm going to show you some night places here in Kuala Lumpur. Oh, let me cover up this light right here so you can see the building a little bit better. Triptych by day is a street taco location. At night, especially on the weekends, they get the DJs in and they make a lot of custom cocktails. Very cool place to try. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Great. All right, let's go ahead and try them out. See how they taste. Cheers, brother. Trying two in-house blends here. This is Duragi Black. And this was good. These are both like a rice wine. This one here definitely has like a more meaty and earthy and peaty taste to it. Very good. The ginger rice wine we swapped right here, and very good. This was refreshing, had a real nice flavor to it. By the way, I'm sitting with a friend that is also traveling, but he doesn't care to be on video. However, he is also traveling as a nomad, basically sold everything and is traveling. The manager, Angel, came over and gave us a little more information on these rice wines.
So Tuak is the official drink of Borneo, which is Aloha of Malaysia too as well. However, during the 1970s, 80s and 90s, when they distilled it, it kind of became like illegal because due to like a lot of people died, like bathtub gin. However, just the brew version alone, no one can actually suffer from it, and it's very beautiful. Every single family in Borneo actually makes their own. So everyone has their own recipe. You should try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is another in-house blend with an infusion of salt and lemon in it already. And this is another one that Angel wanted us to try. Let's give this a shot and she'll give us more information.
So what we had earlier was Asam Boy tequila. Asam Boy is a local preserved sour plum that's been dried under the sun for multiple times. If you infuse and sweet it with tequila, preferably Reposado, it's a bit more mellow, it's a bit more sweet, it's a bit more salty, and it's beautiful. It doesn't give you a, taste, you get what I mean? Yeah.
I love to find these underground locations like Triptych. Cool spots that are basically off the map. I'm glad you came with. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. Today we talked about how to escape the matrix. You don't always have to travel to the other side of the earth. It's more of a mindset and changing your lifestyle than it is actually traveling far, far away the way that I have done. But for me, it was part of my plan. Traveling the world, retiring early was part of how I escaped the matrix and what that term means to me. Are you interested in this lifestyle? Traveling like a nomad with one backpack around the world? If you are, like and subscribe to the video and come along with me. If you're curious about any of the equipment that I travel with in my one backpack, there are links in the description for all of it. There's also a link in the description for my new book, The Traveler and the Bard. Okay, I've got a lot of good walking to do this morning, get a good exercise. I'm glad you came along with. We'll talk again soon. Aloha. Buddy? Hey, buddy. How are you? Oh, how you doing there? Oh, he's a good dog. How you doing, buddy? You having a good day? You keeping an eye on this neighborhood right here? Yes, you are. Keeping an eye on this neighborhood? Yes, you are. But the reality is, noise pollution. Feel that you are, okay. All right, it's kind of windy here right now. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We gotta get away from this wind. The wind.